take me back to Park Place.
Oh wow. Park Place was originally my great grandmother's house. Mama Sugar, Zelfia Pre. She passed away, and then my grandmother took over the house, and I got some great bomb memories in that house. Oh my God, so many great memories in the house. Like the food, I just remember that cast iron skillet with that hot water cornbread in it. Them grits. My grandma used to cook in a double boiler in that house. But the dang house was kind of raggedy. It wasn't kind of. It was, you know, it's a whole little field now. Right, fell in on. Like my great grandma's house was on this lot right here. Field now fell in on her. She had to, you know, since moved, but my memories are still there in my, you know, in my heart, and with me at Park Place.
What about Charles Street? Like, how did you transition from Park Place to Charles Street?
That's crazy. Well, that's really one and the same, because, you know, as we drove, you can see how close in distance it was. Charles Street was my great grandma's house, 81 Charles. I got some great memories in that house as well, because when my grandma was staying on Park Place in my great grandma mama's house, I spent most of my summers on Charles Street caretaking for my great grandma, Rancy Mae Williams, my heart, my everything. Man, this house right here on the right, first of all, it used to be yellow. We sold it to one of our neighbors like last year. It used to be yellow. And man, this is my great grandma's house. My great grandma's house right here. Yeah. Let me spin the block real quick. Like all these people, they you know, they family. They family. And we all family. That's crazy. Yeah, this my great grandma's house. And that house on Park Place was her mama's house. Like that's original. Like all of that, like they redoing it. But yeah. But it was so much love on Charles Street. Yeah.
So going to now Washington Street.
Okay. Oh wow.
Tell us about that.
Washington Street. It's ironic because my last name is Washington. Woohoo. Yeah. That's where I grew up. I grew up my adolescence, like teenage years. Smith Keys, Washington Street. It was me, and my twin brothers and my mom. Building 4, apartment 27. Like, yeah. And I'm kind of getting emotional because, like, going there, like shooting, brought back so many emotions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And my mom was the candy lady there, so that's some good memories. You know, let me get a cool cup. Let me get, you know, some chips, whatever. So, you know, we was serving the community. But man, Washington Street. I learned a whole lot there. There, as you know, you're gonna see in the footage, my first girlfriend was there, and that was a whole situation. Washington Street, like hold on, give me a second to get my thoughts together.
You seem like you're struggling. I could tell that it's something about Washington Street that's just it's making you feel some type of way. Can you put it into word what it's making you feel like, just thinking about Washington Street?
The lack of affirmations that I spoke about, previously started, from my recollection, Washington Street. Like, it was really traumatic for me. I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it, nothing. Like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, the subtitle to this is Truth Be Told. Washington Street was very, very traumatic for me. I witnessed and experienced a lot of abuse, physically, mentally, emotionally. I witnessed it and then I experienced it. Man, this is crazy. The emotions are like all over the place, literally.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, because you think that you done graduated from a place until you actually have to go back and you know what I'm saying, and face with it. But that just shows your growth.
Yeah.
That just shows your growth.
Yeah.
But as a kid, what goes on in this house stays in this house, and that is so toxic. And I just don't tell your kids that. Because I still have that mindset to this day, and that's just has really suppressed me in certain situations in my life. And I feel like if I had the outlet to speak and to just know how to navigate my emotions and place my emotions, that would have been a better, I would have been a better person. But God He just do what He do, how He do it. So yeah, those emotions, going there and just even speaking about it is bringing up, like, it's just like trauma, like legit trauma, like abuse is what I would, that's it. Like fighting, people breaking in our houses, stealing from us, like not having no, any wall, lights, wall, what I'm saying, just having without, not having, and that, played a part, played a, big part mentally for me. So I'm like, Lord, why, what I need to do, like, help.
So again, how does it feel being in the actual apartment complex now?
I am handicapped right now. I mean, this used to be like jumping. Let's go around here and I'm gonna show y'all with my first girlfriend where she lived at. Yeah, she stayed in the apartment complex. She stayed. Ooh, these speed bumps is deadly. Like, it's all good though. I think she stayed in this building right here. And I stayed in building, we stayed in building 4, up here. She stayed in building 14. A nice little 1-2-1-2. Ain't got good.
You need a minute?
No, let's go.
So with all that you experienced and was experiencing, how did you cope with it? Like, what were the different factors that help you keep pushing through?
Well, I cope with it. It is crazy. God is so good. He's so intentional. My best friend, still to this day, my best friend, Shaquanda Renee Richards. She invited me to church. What age was I? Like 13, 14, whatever. Friday night Jubilee. The Gate for the Sheep's Tabernacle, under the leadership of Daryl and Crystal Phillips at the time. That was just like a worship experience. No hands was laid, no word was preached. I felt the Holy Spirit, and like, it was just drenching of just like the weight of God was on me. So when you experience God like that, ain't no way in heck you're gonna be the same. I mean, you might still go back into your routine, but the experience is going to be with you always. I'm 29 years old and I still remember that. So I started going to church because we went to church literally every day of the week. Monday to Monday. Like, Monday was, no, I went to go to church Monday. Tuesday noon prayer, Wednesday Bible study, Thursday was sheep practice, Friday was Friday night Jubilee, Saturday we was dancing at somebody's church, whatever. Sunday, you know what I'm saying? I was always being active in the church. And I think that's what, and I know that's what saved my life. Cause I ain't no telling what I'd be doing if I wasn't occupied in the church like that. So my best friend invited me to church is what helped me cope with all those traumatic experiences and those moments that I was going through on Washington Street, man. Like legit.
So was this before or after you went into that lifestyle?
I was actually in the lifestyle, but I wasn't fully in it. It was just like I had this like, I don't like boys. Well, I don't know. I didn't know what I liked. I just knew that girls were more easier. Like I said, late blooming, no affirmations. Like girls were easier, and that's when I started in that lifestyle. Even with feeling that Friday Jubilee, I still acknowledged my emotions for women, and still continued in that lifestyle. I did, but that beckoning was there, as I spoke before. But I feel like if I never did have that experience, that beckoning wouldn't even been there all these years. So yeah.
Okay. So basically God was there before, and turns out he ended up being there throughout it, and then heavily up until this point now.
Literally the epitome of Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Yeah. Like I stand outside of time. Like, okay, God, you the man. I serve you. You got my yes. Let's get into it. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Just a little nugget of wisdom. Your very much blessed may come in the raindrop. It may come in the storm, but just know that you got this, and you're gonna overcome it. Why? Because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world.